Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to talk getting started with Path to Glory for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're going to take a look at the cities of Sigmar and begin with Hammerhal. In this video, we're going to talk first of all about what exactly we get with the Cities of Sigmar army and what we get in particular with the Hammerhal subfaction rules, and then we're going to go through the 5 major steps of creating a warband for the army, just giving you some tips and hints on where to go with this, just to get your initial sort of force on the table. We'll then look at some units we can pick up first for our collection to start off our warband, and units we can then grab later to pick up and add to our warband at a later opportunity. Finally, we'll give you a little 600-point sample armor list for a Path to Glory Vanguard game at the start of your campaign, a great way to get into Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Now, for starters, what exactly do we get in a Hammerhal subfaction, and what do we get in the Cities of Sigmar army? And we'll start with what we get in the Cities of Sigmar army. For starters, we get all the generic rules where we get to pick our general, and he gets to have an adjutant who's another character that if stands by him gets an extra command point, potentially. We then get to pick an honoured retinue for our general, which is a retinue of a unit for 5 to 10 or to 20 models that can protect our general so long as they are close by our general. We then also get +1 to cast all endless spells in this allegiance in any Cities of Sigmar army, and that's pretty much the gist of what we get. We can also add in some coalition units from Stormcast, and depending on later when we chat about other cities, other units as well. So with Hammerhal, what do we really get? Well, first of all, we generate extra command points with the banners in our unit at the top of our turn. So for every banner we have on the table, we get to roll a dice, and on a 6 we get an extra command point. So this is really cool. Lots of banners on the table means lots of extra command points, so definitely something we want to try and think about when we're building our Hammerhal army. Now, Hammerhal really has this attack and defend style of play. It doesn't take battle shock tests for any units in its army that are in its own territory, which is just really, really good. And then also, we've got a command ability we can use in our opponent's territory to give us the ability to pile in and attack twice. So some really cool and useful abilities. Now, narratively as well, Hammerhal is really about the Free Guild more than anything. It's pretty much the major human settlement in the Mortal Realms. That's a big part of what it is. But let's go have a look and let's run through the 5 steps on how to create your Path to Glory warbands. And so, to begin with, well, for starters, we're obviously going to start with step 1, which is choose your faction and realm. Now, we've chosen to be Cities of Sigmar, and we're going to go with the Hammerhal subfaction. When you choose your faction and realm, you must pick your subfaction, and this cannot change throughout the course of your Path to Glory campaign. When it comes to realm, actually the cities will have set realms they need to be set in. Now, this is more a narrative choice, and we'll give you a good idea on maybe how to base your miniatures, some ideas for like theming, and little bits and things about your army. But the cities are really great, and they do have this amazing set of lore where you've got all these cities set in realms, so you can really start to pick which city you want to be from, what realm you want to be from. Now, step 2 is to choose your starting size and starting territories, and for the purpose of this video, we've gone for the easiest access point, which is Vanguard, which is 600 points. Now, when you choose this starting size, you also get a unit limit. In this case, it is 6 units. That's the maximum number of units you can have in your force, and you also get a starting territory and 5 starting glory points. Your starting territory can be a variety of different things, but I recommend for any Cities of Sigmar army to potentially get started with a small settlement. This will allow you to get an additional reinforced unit, which in Cities of Sigmar, when you've got units which generally like to be in larger numbers, is definitely something to go with. Step 3 is your order of battle. Now, this is for the maximum of like working out what exactly is going to be in your warband, and there are some things you have to take into account. First of all, you have a maximum number of units you can see, and this is obviously from our starting size before, which is 6. We then have a maximum of 3 heroes that can be taken, and then 1 of each monster, war machine, wizard, priest, reinforced unit, and allied unit may be taken in this initial force. However, thanks to our small settlement, we will be able to take an additional reinforced unit. It generally might not come up in your first sort of 600-point warband, but it's worth starting to think about which one you're probably going to use quicker than any of the others. Step 4 is core enhancements. Now, this is generally just the normal sort of enhancements you would pick for a match play game. So this is, your first command trait, your first artifact, your first spell on every wizard, first prayer on every priest, all that sort of stuff you generically pick. No additional extra stuff. However, if there is, say, a sub-faction in the game that allows you to pick extra things, you get them as core enhancements as well. And then step 5 is picking your first quest, and I really do like Defend Your Realm for the Cities of Sigmar to begin with. At the end of each Path to Glory battle, you add 1 quest point to the progress section of your quest log for each friendly unit wholly within your territory. In addition, at the end of each Path to Glory battle, you can spend 1 glory point to gain 1 additional quest point. Once you've completed 3 or more quests, you complete this quest, and when you complete this quest, you gain 10 glory points. For me, this is just a really good one. Hammerhal likes to sit in its own deployment zone with some of its units, so you've definitely got the ability to try and get those quest points for having stuff wholly within your own territory, and your faster units, if we take some, can go into your opponent's territory and come back later in the game to get even more. This could be a really solid one that you can almost do in a single game. But where do we look to get started? Well, for starters, I recommend a Free Guild General. I think he's a fantastic character to start with, and generally you want to probably start with these smaller characters. I feel narratively this is the best way to go starting Path to Glory. Start with smaller characters and earn your monsters throughout the course of the campaign. It really does make a much better story for your narrative progression of your army. Now, a Free Guild General, he's got some cool abilities where he adds 1 to the friendly bravery characteristic of all friendly Free Guild units around him. And then his decapitating swing, he does some mortal wounds when he actually rolls 6 to hit as well, which is pretty nice. He also has the Hold the Line command ability where you can pick 3 friendly Free Guild units wholly within 18 inches of him and add 1 to their hit, wound, and save rolls, which is really, really nice. So long as they don't make a normal move or a charge move in the turn. However, a unit cannot benefit from this command ability more than once per phase. So +1 to hit and wound there, which is really, really nice. Now, talking about other units, Free Guild Guard are just a great way to say it. They're really, really cheap, and I like the sword and board on them. A 4+ base save on a battle line unit at cheap as chips is really good. They also have a banner. Free Guild Handgunners are another great unit to back them up. Now, you could definitely have a choice between these and Crossbowmen, and we'll talk about Crossbowmen in just a sec. I like handgunners for the Rend. I feel Rend is really important in the game right now. You also have the Hoglin Long Rifle as well in the unit, which you can use to ignore the Lookout Server and potentially pop some damage on backfield wizards in your opponent's army. It's like a giant sniper rifle. Demigryph Knights are the last unit I recommend taking a good look at. They're a fast unit that can get into your opponent's territory and make great use of that double pile and attack when they charge with their lances, which actually get some cool bonuses. Rend 2 and then damage 2 on the charge, so a really nice sort of combo there for your Demigryph Knights. They're also that base 3-up save, meaning they can go to that all-important 2-up and be really hard to take off the table. Looking at other units then to expand our collection with, and I think the first place to go is taking a look at a Battle Mage to add some magic into our force. Now, Battle Mages are really sweet. You get an amazing box of 4 different miniatures which you can use to really build and customize your own Battle Mage. Battle Mages can be from a multitude of different realms, and they don't need to be attached to the realm that your army actually comes from. It's more sort of where their training happened and what realm they really draw their power from. So you can have a Death Battle Mage in your Akshi-based army, or a Celestial Battle Mage in your Haiish-based army. It doesn't matter, it's sort of where the wizard comes from, not the realm that he's currently in. Now, with that said, I particularly like the Haiish wizard. I think he's got a really cool spell. However, I do like the metal and the death wizards as well, as their spells are really nice as well. Just a wide variety of different things you can do with these wizards. Free Guild Crossbowmen, like I said, are a great option, and it really is up to you whether or not you like them or handgunners better. While handgunners will have that Rend, Free Guild Crossbowmen will put out more shots. However, they generally put out more shots when they've got more models in the unit. So perhaps for starting, I think that handgunners are the better unit, but when you start increasing and getting larger units, Crossbowmen definitely are the way to go. Free Guild Outriders and Free Guild Pistoliers come from the same box set. And for me, I think they're both interesting, but I do think the Pistoliers are a more versatile option as they have the combat potential with them as well, which is really cool in Hammerhal, where we actually get that double piling and attack. So this unit gets to make a attack when they charge, which is really, really cool. So they get to shoot with their brace of pistols, which have 2 attacks at 4 speeds, Rend 1, damage 1 when they charge. And then they can attack in combat with a saver and pistol, but as well for 2 attacks, 4s and 4s, no Rend damage 1. You can then also double pile in and attack as well, which is really nice. And the unit can reroll run and charge rolls as well. So there's some really cool sort of abilities. We can get quite a few attacks out of them. Move up, shoot regularly, and then charge, shoot on your way in, and then double pile in an attack for a ton of attacks out of your Pistoliers. Outriders, on the other hand, don't have the so good a combat profile or the charging abilities, and they actually need to either sort of stand still to get the most out of their weapons. You add 1 to the attack characteristic of their repeater handguns if units not within 3 inches of any enemy units, and then you can run and retreat and still shoot later in the same turn. They do have their cool repeater handguns for D3 attacks. They hit on 5s, however, but 3s rend 1, damage 1. So they really can spike up in the damage, and you know, they can be D3 plus 1 attacks with their guns as well if they're not near enemy units. So some really cool options to add to your Cities of Sigmar force here. So here we have our little sample army list. We're playing in Cities of Sigmar, in Hammerhal, in Actually, all of which we must be. Hammerhal can also, though, be from Gyrand. So really, do you want Realm of Life? Do you want Realm of Fire? It's really up to you. Hammerhal is actually called what's called a twin city, and it's in a realm gate that's situated between 2 different realms. And then we've got a grand strategy, which we're going to pick. It's going to be Hold the Line. There's a lot of battle line options in Cities of Sigmar, and indeed in the Free Guild options. So Hold the Line is just a really good grand strategy to pick. And our Triumph will be Inspired for +1 to Wound. We then have a Free Guild General who's going to be, well, our General, and he's going to have the command trait Blood of the 12, which is going to give us reroll wound rolls of 1 for friendly melee weapons within 12 inches of the General. A really nice, good artifact. Rerolls to wound are not common. Artifact-wise, we've got the Twin Stone, which gives him the option to give +1 to hit to all units around him with their melee weapons within 12 inch. So potentially around him, we could be, you know, +1 to hit, rerolling wound rolls of 1. A solid, nice little upgrade. And then we've got a Battle Mage who's going to be our Adjutant, so long as he's within 3 inches of our General at the start of the turn. On a 4+, we'll get a free command point. Mortal Realm, we've gone Haish, which is going to give us fast protection where we pick one of our units, and that unit now becomes -1 to hit for all enemies targeting them. And then we've gone Law of Cinder or Wings of Fire. This one here can give 1 extra to our charge and run rolls, and we can also fly. Really, really solid spell that can give a great deal of utility to a bunch of our units, particularly the 3 Demigryph Knights with lances and swords. I think in Hammerhal, just because we've got that double pile in, Lance and Sword is the way to go for the Demigryph Knights, so we can charge in and do as much damage on that charge as possible. 10 Free Guild Handgunners and 10 Free Guild Guard round out our battle line options, with the Free Guild Guard taking Sword and Shields for that 4-up save, and also being our Honoured Retinue, so they're going to stick near our General and protect him. The core battalion we've chosen to start with is going to be a Battle Regiment, meaning the army can be a 1-drop, and then we've got 580 points of those 600, which means there's a chance we can get a Triumph to begin with. No reinforced units and no allies, and 42 wounds is solid at 600 points, and like I said, a 1-drop army. Well, that's it for the video. We hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little fine community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so by following the link in the video's description to our Discord server. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel more, you can do so by following the links to either our Patreon or YouTube members down in the description of the video. It goes a massive way to helping the channel continue to produce the content that it does. We'd like to give a special shout out to all our patrons and YouTube members, so a special thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shop First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, and Samuel. And a shout out to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Ross, Ronya, Vinny, Lochloric, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Sean Scott, and Ariana Edwards. Finally, a last special shout out to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel that you see pictured here, and to Xmorphic, who does all the amazing background work on our Discord server for us. Thank you both, you do amazing work. That's it though. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Once again, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.